What do you do when you ask out a girl and her boyfriend is right next to her? Cause looking back on it, I feel like I made the worst decision of my life. But with most great tragedies, it all starts from the beginning. For me, is in high school, after the last bell rang and I left Spanish class, I met up with the boys, Al, Daquan, and Will. And by this time, I was a natural
at asking out beautiful girls.
To the point where people even had a nickname for me. They called me the Creep. As you can assume, with a name like that, my reputation wasn't all peachy. 17-year-old me didn't care about any of that. Unless they were a girl. Best believe I cared, because your boy was girl deprived. AKA, didn't have a girlfriend while friends around me were getting in and out of relationships like this was a common thing. Cause like, gosh dang! I'm here struggling while you're here thinking that high school is just an all-paid buffet. And trust me when I say they made getting into a relationship look so easy, to the point where I wanted to learn the Kamehameha way just so I can flex on these quote-unquote players. We continue with me meeting up with the boys to discuss who my next sorry victim to ask out is. And while writing this script, I gotta say, I kinda really feel sorry for all these girls I asked out. But hey, I mean, it made one hell of a story. Back to the story. Daquan pointed to a pretty girl and he looked at me and said, try to ask her out. And with a big girth of experience under my belt, I went, say less. Then I carefully walked up to her like this was Metal Gear Solid so she wouldn't think I'm a creep. But now looking back on it, that was 100% the creepiest thing I could have done. But at the time, it didn't matter to me. The only thing on my mind was the mission. And the mission was to ask out this lovely girl on a date. And I was determined to succeed in this mission. So I closed the distance with every step I took until eventually I was an arm's distance to her. And in my head, I said, it's go time. With my mind made up, I put my arm around her and felt a face hit my fist. So I looked over and I saw a buffed, pissed off, little mad looking dude, and I immediately started panicking because I saw 3 ways of this going. First, me and the pavement are going to become new friends. Second, the girl erasing my family tree with one swift kick. Or third, my boys will come and back me up. But option 3 left like the wind the second I saw the boys not even paying attention to soon to be my funeral. And there was no way in hell I wanted option 1 or 2. So I Hail Married it and I looked into his eyes while still having my arms around his girl, and I lifted my fist. Not to fight, but for a fist bump. And his facial expression was anything to go off of. He did not want to use his fist for a fist bump. He had another darker, bloodier agenda instead. And when I saw that, I went for it. It being his fist. So I can get the fist bump and hopefully make the situation better than it was. But sadly enough, that was a mistake. Because after the fist was connected, he proceeded to take out his other fist, which at the time was dormant in his pocket. And after seeing that, I pulled the most light Yagami crap I would ever do. And I looked at the girl, ignoring him, took my arm off her, looked at her, and I said, you look beautiful. And I was wondering if you wanted to go out with me. Both the dude and the girl were confused as hell. And that was the expression I was waiting for. I knew I could have win physically, but I knew a win for me is getting out of this alive. So with them confused, I proceeded to look in her eyes and said, looks like your answer is clear. And I turned around and walked away like a badass. And as I was walking to my boys, who were still distracted, not paying attention to me, until they saw me walking back like I won the freaking lottery. And when I got there, they asked me, of course, how it went. And I told them everything. From the girl actually having a boyfriend, all the way to an almost confrontation that I avoided by becoming light Yagami. Their reactions were priceless. And personally, my favorite reaction was Will's. And in my head, it will always be a meme. I can always look back and laugh with pride, because it reminded me of this hilarious story that I have just told you guys today. And if you wish to hear more stories similar to this, like the time I asked out a girl and she said yes, but with a twist, then you guys need to subscribe for more great content. And until next time, you guys stay safe and peace.